Well, hey, folks, Dr. Mosier here. And hey, many of you have noticed that I have lost a ton of weight over the last 2, 3 years. I used to weigh 370 pounds, and I lost a ton of weight without drugs or surgery. And it's massively helpful. I feel amazing. I feel so much better. But now, my next goal is body composition, right? And so we're talking body fat percentage. Now, no, I'm not looking to be a bodybuilder, but I am trying to increase my muscle mass. And many of us, especially us guys, we want to be strong and fit and look like we did when we were in high school. And I think we can as long as we are dedicated and focused to that. But here's the thing, we have to be ultra dedicated to the recovery. Yes, it's not a new movement in the gym or an extra set of bicep curls, which are helpful, don't get me wrong. But if you're not getting enough rest or the right food supply to allow your muscles and ligaments and tendons to recover, then you'll be fighting a what we call an uphill battle. And so recovery is vitally important. But I want to bring up recovery because we're talking about rest for a moment. So of course, um, I sometimes struggle getting enough rest because I'm trying to do a million things all at once, and I'm raising these young boys, which sounds like an excuse, and well, it is. But sometimes I stay up late and I get up really early and trying to achieve everything, tackle the world, so to speak. But sometimes we got to slow down and we got to rest. And often we find ourselves where we're like, oh, well, I'll just rest. Some people say this silly notion of, I'll rest when I'm dead. That's terrible. You're just going to die sooner because you're not recovering and taking care of your body. But a lot of people, truthfully, they will work really hard and not give themselves adequate rest and then deteriorate um, their thyroid and the adrenals and all the other essential organs and say, well, I'll make up for it on my vacation. Well, you can't just vacation your way to recovery. You have to be diligent. You have to be proactive about how you recover. And so making sure you get plenty of rest, make sure you drink plenty of water. For me, I have to There we go. I think we're back online. So for me, I have to use what we call a CPAP machine or a BiPAP machine to allow me to get the airway to get, to breathe at night. But sometimes if I don't utilize that device, then I don't recover because I didn't sleep well that night or I didn't breathe essentially at night. And so it's vitally important to make sure that you focus on your sleep. But let's talk about sleep for a second because I got a good friend, Bill, who is a ex-Marine. Now he was a Marine many years ago. So this was back when Marines were Marines. This was when they used to chew on rusty bolts for bubble gum. Like these were some tough dudes. And of course Bill is a very tough guy. But for the last 20 years, he has suffered needlessly with restless leg syndrome. And I want you to think about like a breaker box in your basement to your house, and some breakers need to be on and some are off or some are not utilized. And so his breaker box was out of whack. And so what happened, if you don't know about restless leg syndrome, he would lay down at night and his legs would flutter, even his hands actually. So he had a pretty advanced case. So for the last 20 years, he has been on every single medication known to man for restless leg syndrome, minimal relief. He would suffer with 3 or 4 hours at night and he'd be up again, hardly ever sleeping. First adjustment, and this isn't because I'm Superman or miraculous chiropractor guy, but when we set the atlas, the top bone in the neck, into position, Then what happened is that very night, he slept through the night. He woke up, he came into the office, and he was smiling ear to ear. He's very broad, muscular Marine. He was smiling ear to ear and said, "Doc, I slept 6 hours. I went to bed at well, I believe it was 10 a or 10, not 10 a.m., 10 p.m. and woke up at 4 a.m. Slept through the entire night." Beautiful story of how the spine does so much for our bodies. Because what is the most important organ in our body? It's our brain. And if our brain highway system, that spinal cord, is not working right, there's a disconnect, then what are you going to have, right? You're going to have disruption. For him, how it displayed itself was this restless leg syndrome that wasn't allowing him to sleep, right? And so let's go back to the main topic here. Rest. You have to recover. You have to take time for yourself. If you're not taking time for yourself, then what are you doing? You're deteriorating. You're wearing your body out. And I am a big fan of working hard. I could work 7 days a week. If you said you have to retire, I would vomit in my mouth. Like I don't want to retire. I love what I do. And many of you are maybe workaholics like me, and you are so passionate, but maybe this video is more for me than everyone else. But you have to take time. You have to stop and smell the roses. You have to enjoy that time. And the better you pour into yourself, the better you can pour into other people, right? And so I hope this was helpful. I hope it was informative. God bless you guys. I love you.